This is ridiculous.
This is fantastic.
This
I don't know
is
what you're talking about.
probably the dumbest thing you've ever done.
This is not the. I've done some pretty dumb
You've
stuff.
done some dumb stuff.
This is cool.
This is a bit much.
I don't think it's a bit much.
We're in our dining room at the moment.
What do y'all think? We should take a picture so people
Don't
can
say
see.
what do y'all think, because you shared this when it was like barely done.
It's still not done. It is still far from done.
It's still very far from done. And then so I was like, I don't think we need to do this right now.
Well, all right, here's the difference between Allison and I. Allison is a teacher, a kindergarten teacher.
Everybody knows that by now. All 6 of them know this, okay?
It's fine. Who knows? Maybe new people will join because of how dope this looks.
Actually, they're probably going to be like, apparently you're going to offend people by like shadows and carpets and lamps. And
it's not offensive to ask for help. Anyway, Allie only ships things when they're done.
Ew.
She's a kindergarten teacher.
I ship nothing.
She ships nothing. But she teaches children she's got to be on her P's and Q's.
Yeah.
And have a plan.
You don't halfway do something.
Whereas those of us in software know you ship things before they're ready so you can get feedback to see if it's working. So you don't waste too much time going down the wrong path.
Yeah, but you also don't do something like when it's literally barely done.
This is not barely done. This is like 80% done.
80%.
What's left? Just to fill up the cubby?
Fit all of that. We got to hang some stuff.
We do need to hang some stuff. Your poster idea was good. I've got a bunch of like really great posters from like my favorite artists and some of our favorite artists. There is.
Needs to be done.
What is okay? Allie's gonna be so mad. What should we put in the shelves? I want to know.
No say. You don't crowdsource.
Always crowdsource.
I am the decider.
Allie's the decider. Allie's like, for real, mysterious industrial interior design. She's really good at it.
See, I'm experimenting with a copper pot up here.
I've got to tell everybody about what happened today anyway. But before we do that, let's just go ahead and hit the cut scene. My name is Will. This is my beautiful wife, Allie. This is the No One Asked Us podcast.
Oh, is this your name debuting now too?
Hashtag name debut.
Ew.
Episode 20.
That was the most lackluster
This is I guess technically episode 1. But we're not gonna like restart the feed.
I mean, I feel like we could have done a whole lot more, but apparently no one asked me.
Let's do it.
Well, there it is, folks. A new name.
A new name.
A new location.
A fantastic location. We're going to take a picture so you can see the hilariousness that is where we are filming currently.
Ew, whatever.
But this works. All right, so this behind us, these are like little thin Home Depot panels on some insulation, literally just put up against the wall, and they will get removed every podcast.
Because this is our dining room.
This is our
home. And I told Will, I'm fine with like a little seating area over here. What I'm not fine with is this.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's not going to live here for forever.
It won't. It will go up. Thankfully, I made it light. Like it's like a thin panel on like insulation. So they're actually not terrible to carry back up the stairs into one of our giant closets upstairs.
Yeah.
However, speaking of giant closets upstairs, guess what Allie decided to do today?
This isn't fair.
I look at Allie and said, Allie decides to redecorate the whole house today.
I did not.
And that is the exact response that I got. I'm not redecorating the whole house.
Okay.
However,
organizing and...
let's just list out all the rooms that got touched today and moved furniture around.
No.
Davis's room.
I will not stand for this
Wilson's
injustice.
room. The bedroom hallway, which is like the hallway going to all of our bedrooms on one side of the house. The den.
No.
The dining room.
No.
The kitchen.
I am not standing for this injustice.
The laundry room.
This is slander.
And the upstairs playroom. That is a total of 8 rooms, Mrs. King.
You are going
I think that counts as...
to sleep on the couch tonight for this.
I think that counts as... No, that's not what I'm sleeping on the couch for.
Yeah,
if there's anything that Will King's sleeping on the couch for, it's going to be what happened last weekend.
But no, that is false advertisement to all 8 of these people. here's what's happened.
There's more than 8 of you. I know there is.
This is what
Love y'all.
happened. I'm about to be out of school for this summer,
This is true. This is true.
and I will be in charge of watching our 3 children all day. And I am a big proponent of like structure,
What? No
routine.
way. Kindergarten teacher loves a good
And so
routine.
I knew.
Which, let it be known, anything that Allie thinks is the right call with the children, I am in 100%
I mean,
support of.
no,
She knows what she's doing, people.
anywho, so I've had this idea of like, look, our playroom, play closet, play
It's a closet. It's a
area.
play closet.
All of the toys are housed up in your office. And so I'm
Correct.
like,
That is
we
very
can't
true.
have all three of the children, me watching them, you trying to get work done this summer, and everybody
Also
be
true. Also
up
true.
in
Also true.
the like playroom, office-y area. So I'm like, you know what? We're gonna turn in like our den into like a play area.
I think that's a great
And
idea.
we're going to do like a toy rotation to where
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
not like they get all of the options every single day. Like I'll bring out a few things and rotate them through once a week. But in order to do that, we had to move out like the tiny little sofa.
Mm-hmm.
And then we put that in the playroom closet to make like a little book
Also,
nook.
she said tiny, what'd you call it?
Tiny sofa?
Tiny sofa. We also call it death couch.
It is death
It
couch.
is, we did not move it. We almost threw it away.
Yeah.
Wilson drew on the entire back of it in Sharpie.
It's a wonderful art installment.
It's an incredible piece of art by our son. We also have one of those Sharpie installments in my office on the door.
Yeah. So great.
But it's this Wayfair couch. It is literally like very similar to these chairs where like if you look at it, the back doesn't actually come up like a normal couch. It's like a cut off modern
Yeah.
style type situation, which looks really great.
Wonderful.
But when you have a 1-year-old who is climbing on
Who
top of the
has
couch
no
standing,
self-preservation skills.
none, absolutely none. Then the only thing that you can like think about is like how you're about to throw up every second because you're like afraid your 1-year-old's
He's
about
gonna
to
like
like
roll off the back and
yeet
like
himself.
there's brick floors in our den and there's a fireplace hearth and
That is
so
true. We did not place
we
it at the
just
best place either,
well,
right by
no,
the
but it was
hearth.
just there for more seating if needed.
Correct.
But we had to move that out. So really, honestly, that room it was not that big of a deal. We just moved like a sofa out, and it weighed nothing.
It did weigh nothing.
Okay.
It was
So
not a hard
then
move.
we brought down like some kids' toys and like a little shelf.
Brought like a little kitchen.
Just the kids' play kitchen.
Yes,
And that's
good.
in there now.
I do like how the den is like ground zero for
Yeah.
where play happens. So,
So see, I'm just thinking of you and your work,
all right,
man.
here's the deal. I didn't come at Allie because I thought it was a bad idea. I just came at Allie because she made it sound like it was not a lot of stuff,
It
but
was
it
not
was
a
a
lot
lot.
of stuff.
Because then we decided that Wilson had grown out of having a rocking chair in his room.
Oh, we can't talk about this. This is sad.
It is sad. We've had the same chair since Palmer, since we had our first
Yeah.
kid. And it has like gone through each child. When we had Davis, Wilson was still little and needed the chair. And so we moved it with him. And today Wilson finally aged out of needing like a rocking chair in his room. And so Allie was like, well, let's move it out. Summer's coming. Let's go ahead and while we're moving everything else in the house,
Oh my word.
let's go ahead and move this. So we moved that too. And then that meant the chair that was in Davis's room had to go, which good riddance.
Yeah, it was just
because
some like Target.
it was literally
rocking
the
chair
cheapest
thing.
the
It's
cheapest
whatever.
thing that we could get. But now we've moved that to Davis's room. And I like swear someday Davis is gonna age out of it and we're not getting rid of
No,
that
we
chair. I
can't.
don't know what we're gonna
We'll
do with
figure
it.
something out.
But
Okay, but then, so we did that, which was nothing, literally nothing. And then Wilson needed like a nightstand because we moved this in here. Because
also
this was
this was
Wilson's
Wilson's
like
nightstand.
where his sound machine went.
Correct.
And so there was a laundry room, like in our laundry room,
We had a
there was
table
little
in the laundry room that had to get
that
moved.
was
It was a
literally
chain
nothing.
reaction. It was literally like we
It was
picked
so
one thing
easy.
to move, and it was a chain reaction.
Okay.
So easy. She did not move the two giant
I
like
moved that
baby
table.
rocking chairs.
Oh, wow. I don't need this from you. Okay, and then I decide during nap times today, my best friend and I, we went to an antique store. Fun fact,
her grandmom's.
my grandmother owns an antique store here in
It's
Montgomery.
got 3 floors. It's incredible.
Can you stop? I'm getting there. Okay?
I'm just trying to be your hype
Stop. I
man.
got it. I'm going to hype myself up.
Whoop, whoop. Get it, girl.
Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall, if you're ever in Montgomery. 3 floors, 60,000 square feet, over 300 vendors. It's wonderful. I grew up there, literally worked all through high school, summers in college. Love it. Love to antique. It's one of my favorite things. So, my best friend and I today decided to go to Eastbrook and walk around. And this sparked the greatest marriage debate I think we've ever had. It's top 5 for sure.
I don't know. We'll let the people decide.
We have a very long hallway in our home, that all of the bedrooms come off of this like extra wide hallway. It's not like normal size.
Okay,
It's a double wide.
Extra is a bit extra too. It's not extra wide.
It's pretty wide.
It's pretty standard size.
No, it's not standard size.
Like it might be like 4 inches bigger than a standard hallway, but it's not. It's not a double wide.
A double wide.
No, it's not. There is a door at the end of it that fits the hallway, with maybe just like 1 inch on either side.
I disagree. It's a larger hallway than normal. There is the perfect spot in this hallway. I wish like we could do a home tour one day, just because I feel like our house is very unique.
We do have a very unique house.
It was built in 1965.
Well, we can do that. We can do a home tour this summer.
Mid-century modern, but you go down the hallway and, there's like closets here. There's Palmer's room. There's Wilson's room. You can like turn and take a couple steps down into our den. There is like this space between where you can go into the den and the hall bathroom. So it's just like a little bit wider, and it's the perfect spot for like a small hallway table, like a half moon.
I mean, who's ever heard of a hallway table in the first place?
Like a little nook.
It's not a nook because it's in the hallway.
Oh my word.
A nook means it's like set in something.
The perfect little
it's not a nook.
spot that I can have like this half table, put a little lamp there, some pictures. It really anchors the space.
Anchors a hallway, people. Anchors a hallway.
Double wide hallway.
It's not double wide. We'll show you. You'll see a video and be like, this ain't double wide.
Went to the antique store today, found me a table, purchased said table, put it in the hallway.
She did. And my response, Allie was like, see, wasn't this such a great idea? To which I said, no. I said, no.
It was
here's
so
what
good.
Okay, here's what I said, though.
Insert picture. Do you like one of those things where you can like, boop?
I will. I'll boop up a picture for you, babe. Let me just boop up a picture real quick.
Okay, just put it here and let the people see that this is so wonderful.
I will. We'll put up a picture. And here's the deal, though. You styled it very well.
I know I did. Well, it's not done yet, but
it is well styled. It looks really good. I don't have a problem.
Our home looks.
I don't have a problem with how it looks.
Cozy. It makes the hallway look cozy, not clinical.
Here's what I have a problem with. We have 3 children, 5 and under, who use that hallway like a racetrack.
Now it's just an obstacle that they have to move out of the way.
I am 6'4" and broad of shoulder.
Okay.
And I am constantly carrying baskets of laundry and things where sometimes I can't see where I'm going.
This table is so small.
Back and forth.
It's never been in the way.
We are going to children's rooms still in the middle of the night when it is dark.
I know, but their rooms are all on this side of the hallway. You're not even venturing on that side of the hallway.
You know me. It is a 100% going to happen that I kick that table on accident in the middle of the night.
No, you're not.
And it's going to be terrible. I'm going to stub a toe.
No,
I'm going to be mad.
You do that just because you're blind and you wouldn't put your glasses on. But
I mean, who goes to the trouble of putting their glasses on?
You should, because you can't see.
This is very true.
Okay,
last night I didn't have my glasses on. I was about to get in the shower, and Allie threw something across the room at me. And to me, that's just like a blur, like a blob, a giant blob. So this giant blue blob is flying at me, and I just like freak out real quick. And she's like,
"It's just a shirt."
Just snickering. It's like one of our kids' shirts. I'm like, I didn't know that. I'm blind.
Anywho, I know that this table was the right call. Ask anybody who listens to this. Ask any of their wives. It's the right call.
All right. Here's the thing, though.
It's the right call, man.
It's not.
It is.
But here's what I told Allie. She was real upset that I did not.
I'm hurt.
She's upset that I did not agree with her that it was a good idea. To which I said, It is okay.
No, it's
Because
not.
you did it well. You did a great job. And I'm just not going to like it. But
I
that is not my
will
place
not
to
stand for
decide. That is
this.
not my thing to
It
decide. If you
is.
like it and you think it should go there, own it. And who
I
cares what I
know,
think?
but you're wrong, and you need to eat your words. That's what I'm waiting for, you to eat your words and be like, you know what, Allie?
Here's the
I
thing.
am
I do
wrong.
eat my words a lot. There's a lot of times where I'm like, Allie, that's not going to work. It's not going to look good. And then she crushes it and it looks really good. To which I then have to eat my words. This is not one of
This
those.
is gonna be one of
I'm
those.
not eating the words.
I'm sorry,
But it
but you
can still
will.
be there.
Well, it's not going anywhere. I spent money on this, so
I mean, it's Eastbrook. We can just put it back in there.
no, we can't. Anywho, but then not only did I find the most perfect hallway
All
table,
right, now this was a win all
I
around.
did find a church pew
Oh,
that I've been looking
if you are not from
for.
the South, there is nothing a Southern girly loves more than
I
a church
know.
pew in her house.
I love it. We actually have
We
two.
now have two.
Um, we have one very big one, and then we have this little guy that's in our kitchen, and it almost makes it like a little breakfast nook banquette situation.
This is true.
Found literally the perfect pew, perfect size, perfect color. Meh, maybe I might paint it. Who knows?
Might paint it, but it's really,
For
really
our
well done.
kitchen,
It's
and
solid. It's a good pew.
it's wonderful.
The
So I
kids
found that today.
immediately loved it. We got it right before dinner, and both kids were like, me and Allie were like, well, we can both sit at it, and the kids can have their normal chairs. And they just immediately hopped in. We're like,
All
nope, the
like,
pew
yeah,
is ours.
makes it like a little booth. So it was a good antiquing day.
And that was all today. So everything we have covered so far has been
Stop.
today. It has been a day. A day.
But it's not
But
like our whole house was rearranged. You're being dramatic.
let's move on. Our whole house was rearranged.
Oh my
We both
word.
agree. We both agree the whole
And
house was
then
rearranged. Moving on.
this took an hour of Will's day.
It
So,
it did take a bit to set up the first time, but it'll be a lot easier moving forward.
whatever.
I think so. We'll see. We'll find
This
out.
is ridiculous.
We will find out. But a little update on Will. I had my first conference talk, and it went awesome.
Pause to say I'm so proud of you because let's be honest, when he gave me this talk, the like a week out, I was like,
Oh man.
ooh.
In my defense,
It's not great.
we all knew it was not going to be great because it was the very first time I tried to give the
And when
talk.
he told me he had 116 slides, I was like, oh dear.
But each slide just had a single point. I still had a ton of slides. I think I still ended up with like about 100 slides.
Anywho,
Anywho, the conference talk went really great.
I'm so glad.
It was out in Estes Park in Colorado, which is like just outside of Denver, which we have been to before. That fun history fact, the first time that I met Allie's brother, he lived in Denver, and
Yep.
I showed up for a family vacation for like one day.
Literally a day.
They were there for like a
It
whole
was
week.
like one of these things.
I
If I think
flew
we
out.
knew we were going to get married,
If we're talking full send, like that's me. Like this is like another example where Allie was like, "Hey, like, would you want to come up to like our family vacation for like a day?" Like my dad said, he'll be happy to help you fly out here. Left on a Friday, was there Saturday, came back on like
a
Sunday
Sunday.
evening or something like
because
that.
it was like, I think we knew we were going to get married.
oh, like this was like maybe a month in,
then-
and we knew
And it
already.
was like, hey, maybe you should meet the rest of my family, my
Right.
brother.
Yeah, so I got
and his
dropped in
wife.
on a family vacation in the mountains. It was beautiful. It was super
And we
fun.
will save this story. I think we need to save it. But
Oh, there
on
are
this
some other.
trip, he tried to kill my dad.
Did not try to kill your dad.
So we'll discuss that at a later date.
We'll
but
drop that in another one. But
he did try to kill my dad.
went back, as your dad said, back to the scene of the crime for the conference talk. It went really well. I will say, I don't know. I didn't like the conference itself.
Whoa, let's not air that for public consumption.
It's the very last time the conference. And it's not because of the conference. Like the conference was really well done. I realized that was not my community of people, I guess is the right way to phrase that.
Here's my 2 cents on the matter. What was the name of the Miami one?
React Miami.
Okay, you're fresh off of that.
Okay, that's
Fresh
fair.
off of
React
that.
Miami is
That's
a
not
vibe. It's a
fair.
big party.
That's
You're not wrong.
fair to be like, I'm going to start here and then
And then go to this. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair. This one was definitely not a party. It was very academic. It was a functional
It's
programming.
not you.
Oh, touche.
It's not.
I can own that. I'm definitely not academic. But it was very like functional programming based, which the game engine that I've been building in Gleam is a very functional programming language. So that's what I gave my talk. Allison. Some people like to listen to this because they are
All right.
programmers.
Let me know when I can tune back in.
Shut it.
Just saying.
Anyway, it was a good time. I feel like I did really well with the talk. I practiced it like a bajillion times. And I needed to get that out of the way for like the two conference talks that are coming up. One's in July and one's in
September.
September. Yes. And those are like one's Laracon, which is like a bunch of buddies and a bunch of friends that I really want to make sure I do a good job on. And the other one is like a conference with a ton of like people that I look up to
Mm-hmm.
career wise. So I want to do a really good job. So I'm glad that I had this one leading up to it to kind of like break the ice on giving a conference talk for
Yeah.
sure. But I guess we should address the
Should we
elephant in the
should
room.
we talk about while you were gone?
Should we talk about when I was gone?
Okay. So for starters, Will has said, we have 3 kids, 5 and under. Will leaves on Mother's Day.
That was not a good way to start.
Will
the
leaves
trip.
Mother's Day. And not only does he leave on Mother's Day, but he leaves on
The last
the last
week
week of school.
The last full
And,
week. Technically, there's one more week, but
I mean, yeah, but it's half days. And I don't know if any of you know teachers or have people that you're close to who are teachers, but the last full week of school, the only thing I can compare it to is like the Hunger Games or like
the purge.
or the Purge or like that scene in Mean Girls where it's just like the jungle scene.
Yes,
Um,
yeah.
That was my life like at work. So love my sweet kiddos. It's just chaos. And it's
It is.
so
It's
here
just
I
like everyone's
am,
getting stir crazy.
solo parenting. Everybody's needing me all the time here at home. Go to work. 18 other kids are like, Miss King, Miss King, Miss King. And they're all fussing and fighting and yeah at each other. And so that was at work. And then I'd come home and it was more of that. And so then the first night, Mother's Day night goes well, fine. Then
until
we go to Monday.
Yeah.
Monday work was crazy. Monday night, our 3-year-old wakes up in the middle of, well, our 5-year-old wakes up needing me in the middle of the night. Then the 3-year-old wakes up with a fever of 104. And he was not good.
No.
So dealt with that, was up with him all night long. Then, I'm also taking like the boys to my mom's before school, getting to school, teaching, going back to my mom's, bringing them back here. Just a lot.
Let me just break
It was
in
just a
here to
lot.
say that Allie is a superwoman and a rock star, and I am very appreciative that I got to go do this conference
And
talk.
then
And she took all this on.
this bozo,
Unfortunately, everything happened to
that-
go wrong that could go wrong.
it did nothing but rain here, so we were
can't
everybody
get
was
kids
trapped
outside.
inside.
Yeah.
Our mudroom floods while he's away.
We don't have to air that.
And then on Monday, I get
Was that Monday?
a photo from
This is not
numbnuts over here.
This is not my most bright and shining
It is not.
moment.
He sends a photo of like his feet.
I'll put we'll just do another bloop. If
Yeah.
we're blooping, let's bloop again. We'll bloop.
I enter in Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. This was a
I was
mistake.
like,
This was
sunny and 75.
this was a mistake.
Mountain backgrounds, feet propped up like living my best life.
Okay, that's not what I said though. What I said was I sent the
Like in your mind, how was that supposed to land?
Okay, so I sent the picture and it was just like, it's so beautiful up here. I really wish you were with me.
Okay, yeah, but
Seems sweet. Until you think about it in context. And then it's like, well, yeah, I wish I was up there too, you dummy.
Yeah,
Instead, I'm
like-
stuck here with 3 children who
and
are sick and the
everything's
craziness at school.
insane.
And I like sent that and I was like, ooh,
And so
that's probably not
then
gonna land.
it was just chaos town.
It was chaos.
It was. You left me alone on Mother's
But
Day.
I changed my flight. Not because the kids were sick. I'd already changed my flight to try to leave a little earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that my talk was like the first talk in the entire conference.
Yeah.
Um,
We had things to get back for.
and
Palmer had a dance
and
recital
I
last
needed to
week.
I wanted to get back in town. It's just there's this thing that happens where
But all
I
that to say, I'm very proud of you for your talk and love that it went well. So happy for you.
but also
Also,
RIP.
so dicked.
I came back.
This is
I came back with 3 shots of NyQuil. They had these little travel
okay.
shots of
Okay,
NyQuil.
can we
They're so
pause for
cute.
the NyQuil shots? They're precious.
There's,
Okay.
needless to say, I knew I had to come back with something, and there's nothing Allie loves
I
better
love a
than
NyQuil
than a
night.
NyQuil night.
This sounds like I have a drug
You
problem.
don't. You don't.
But
It's
there's
just
these
sleeping's
little
hard after you've had 3
minis.
children.
It's just like a little mini, and it's one dose of NyQuil, and
They were really cute, and I just started laughing the minute I saw them. I was like, Allie's gonna love this. It was so good. But I don't know. Something that when I was traveling, I had a good okay, so I had a good time with meeting some new people. There were definitely some like really good um people that I met. There's a guy from Slovenia um who he runs like a media network
okay.
where he runs like a developer podcast and stuff. And so we had like a really good talk.
He'd probably hate this setup at the moment.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask him. But it was a really good conversation. It was nice meeting people. Like it was people that I never would have, I think, ever connected with otherwise. Which is like the really neat thing about going to like conferences
Yes,
like
you
this and
just said
putting
you
yourself
didn't
out
like
there.
it.
I I
Which
just
one is it? The people need to know.
the
I'm just
the
kidding.
conference as a whole was not my vibe, but there were some good people there that I enjoyed
I
getting to
respect that.
connect with.
I respect that.
And but the whole time I don't know, like I think it is tough probably because we have like small children at this
Mm-hmm.
phase and I'm so used to every part of my day being jam-packed. Like from the moment that I wake up, I have something to be doing until kids go to sleep at night. And even then sometimes after the kids go to sleep, we still have things that we need to get done. And so like while I was there, I think it was just like like when you're driving for a really long time and then you like go to a stoplight. Sorry, I had like a little moment there.
What
I think
just happened?
I don't know. When you get to a stoplight
Okay.
and the road seems to like keep extending out in front of you and you feel kind of
No,
weird.
I feel like we should talk about this.
I'm not the only one. You can't tell me that you've ever stopped at a stoplight, but the road just keeps looking like it's like extending.
Never.
What? No, this is not a me thing. Tell me
Well,
I'm not crazy. Somebody else out
you're
there.
crazy.
No,
What are you talking about?
no, somebody else out there. Somebody else out there has this. It's like when
No.
you're going so fast, the road. It's like a what is it called when you have like
No.
a
I
visual like
have the thing
a
of like
visual trick
where you're
illusion,
pulling
optical
in a
illusion.
parking spot and somebody's backing out
No, no,
like
no, no, no,
that.
no, no, no. Like you're going, and like because you're going so fast, the road's constantly moving this way.
No.
But so when you stop, like it expands back. It's
No.
optical. I'm
No.
not crazy here. Somebody else out there is experiencing this. I know
Oh,
it.
yikes.
Anyway, but that was like the
We should
feeling.
talk to somebody
That
about
was the
this.
feeling. It was like I've been like life is a sprint, and suddenly I wasn't sprinting,
Okay.
and I felt so uncomfortable. Like I felt like guilty and like anxious, like I needed to be doing something, like I wasn't doing what I needed to do, which was like it didn't hit until after I'd given my talk, because like I was practicing my talk basically nonstop until
Yeah.
it was time to give my talk. But after that, it was just like, okay, I need to be doing something else. Like I can't stop. I like what? And so like I felt that way for like the rest of that day because the conference was going on. And that's
Mm-hmm.
like probably why I panicked and sent you that picture, because I was just cause it was just like like I miss her, like I want to be like I can relax when it's both of us,
Well, yeah, because then we're
but
both not doing anything.
right, but when I know you're doing
get it.
something,
I get
it's
it.
like this like
It's
guilt.
hard to know when like your partner is when you know that they're in the
The
trenches,
trenches
of
doing exactly and you know how
everything.
much
It's
is work
and
it
it's a lot
is.
of work for
Yeah.
sure. I get that. I get that.
Totally.
But, you chose to leave on
I
Mother's
did.
Day.
I did choose to
You
leave, and I
chose to
don't
submit
regret
for
it.
this conference, and you chose to send that photo.
I don't regret it because I want to be doing this stuff for good reasons. Reasons that we can.
I have to sneeze.
It's fine. Do it.
I don't want to
Bust
do
a
it.
move. Boom. Darn it.
I'm not doing it.
You got it. All right.
Okay.
There are
Powering through.
reasons. I think it would be fun to talk about, why I've been doing more of this stuff at some point.
I can literally sum it up in a sentence.
Ooh, let's hear it, and then I'll expound upon it later.
You set a goal and said, I want to do a conference talk.
Right, but why did I want to do conference talks to begin with?
I don't know.
I want to talk about that.
I'm not doing a whole psychoanalysis on you at the moment.
You don't have to. Well, I'll explain it, and then we can just talk about it.
We don't have to do that now.
No, we do not. All right.
All right.
There is one other thing that we probably have time to talk about.
Okay.
But I don't have the list. You took a screenshot of. Or in this new setup, there's an unfortunate situation where I don't have easy access because I'm using my phone as the camera, which means I don't have access to. Here, let me take a look and see which one I was thinking of. Is there one that catches your eye? There's one that's going to take a while that I want to do. There's one where.
Oh, gracious. You are killing me, man.
Okay. I want to talk about. This one might take a while. The parental patience thing. Because I just want to talk about, that one's
I don't even know what that means.
It's okay. We'll talk about it another time. I think that's a really good one.
Okay.
I want to end this podcast episode before we get too far away from this situation happening. Allie discovered the phrase vibe coding. She discovered the phrase vibe coding.
Sounds like the
sometime last week, and
dumbest thing I have ever heard. That sounds. I'm sorry. Am I cutting you off? You've not explained it to me. I still don't know what it is.
I've not explained it to her because I wanted her to come on and explain what she thought vibe coding was.
No, I'm just gonna give a scenario. When I hear that, it sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It sounds like a bunch of dudes in their mom's basements with some really angsty music playing. Maybe it's some Linkin Park. I don't know. In a hoodie that's not been washed in 6 months. And there's an empty plate of pizza rolls and 10 cups right there. And it's
hitting every stereotype.
The lights are all off and you're in these giant headphones. And it's just you've caught a vibe and you just want and you're just wanting to see what happens.
So you're vibe coding to you is everyone's feeling it. Everyone's coding and they're really into it.
I'm gonna figure this out. And I'm
vibe coding. I'm in the zone.
I'm in the zone. And it's you're pounding Monster energy drinks and you've been up for forever. And I just think that's the dumbest thing.
Oh, man.
Literally the phrase vibe coding. What?
So funny. I'll never forget.
That?
We were literally dealing with the kids and we get a quick break and Allie just looks over at me and says, what the heck is vibe coding? I'm what? Brick.
It just sounds like you're living at home.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so
made poor life choices
and
you don't know how to make friends.
Let's explain what vibe coding is to Allie because she did not have any I don't think whatever she saw it. Where did you even see it?
I think I saw it on Twitter.
Oh yeah, that's so Allie always is on the following tab
on accident.
And
which
so Allie
also
accidentally
let's be honest,
got on
that's
the
how
For
I
You. Allie,
no,
you're always on the following, who you follow, right?
I'm never on that one. I try to get on that one.
You're always on For You.
And somehow it always switches to For You.
Okay,
and
yeah, that's what I was saying.
Because apparently I roast Will, I get all this crap developer stuff, and
she
I'm
wants to be
literally. Tell me about Auburn basketball and about the Bachelor and Bachelorette. Maybe throw in some teacher humor and let's call it a night.
Right.
Instead, I get hit with some stupid tweet about vibe coding. And I'm like, this sounds like somebody who has never been in a relationship.
Anyway, jeez Louise, Allison, come in a little hotter, please. So anyway, she tells me about it's so funny. Like some of Allie's best stuff comes when she gets stuck on the For You page, and because she only comments on my stuff, she gets all of your stuff in her feed, and she's just like, "What the heck is going on?" Anyway,
but then I quickly figure out and switch it to my following tab.
So so vibe coding. Let me just tell you what it is.
I kind of don't want my bubble burst,
and then we'll wrap it up for the night. We need to burst your bubble on this one.
Okay.
So vibe coding has to do with like AI. And
how?
So
what?
Okay, so ChatGPT.
Yes.
And how you can just ask it stuff and it will like help you out.
I get it.
Right.
Yes.
There are like code editors who have like a ChatGPT built into it, and the ChatGPT can like edit the files in your code base. So there are some people who use There are some people who use the chat to be like, hey, like, how would I do this? And it like they use it as like a way to
like a loophole.
Right, sure. To like just like ask questions, get some documentation, blah blah, etc. Where normally you'd go to Google. But some people who don't know how to code started using these tools to be able to just create applications knowing nothing about code.
Okay.
And basically what they do is they're just like, hey, I want this app. It's going to do this, this, and this. I want it to look like this.
Okay.
Make it.
Okay.
And then they don't ever read the code. Okay. And they just try to open it in the browser and see if it works. And if it doesn't work, then they just go right back to the chat and be like, hey, this doesn't work. Fix this. And then they try it again. And if it doesn't work, like, oh, no, like that worked, but now this doesn't work. And they just basically the vibe coding just means I don't care what code gets written. I just want to like tell you what to do and tell you if something's broken and do that back and forth until I've got an app.
I don't need that. Then call it like lazy man's coding. Don't call it vibe coding.
So it's a vibe coding because you're just like vibing out. Like that's the way they phrased it.
Oh my
it's like,
word.
Like I'm just like I don't care what's written. Like I just want to like get in the zone, like the flow of like creating some application.
Call it lazy. Call it.
Allie,
I don't know. I'm just like
loving it. People will love that take. I also think vibe coding is
I don't care
like
what you call this. I don't even care if you do it. But vibe coding just sounds like I feel sorry for you.
It caught on though. Everybody loves it. It's a good marketing term.
It sounds like a Gen Z person decided to do this.
Here's why it's working is because even somebody like you're like you have like a opinion about it. The name.
I mean, I really don't care. I'm not going to lose any sleep over this.
Right, but like you saw it and were like you commented on it and were like, "Will, what the heck is vibe coding?"
Well, I
and the fact that like you just said that.
Like,
whereas if somebody said like lazy do it for you coding, you'd been like you wouldn't have cared one bit.
But see, here's the thing. I'm not done.
What do you mean you're not done?
Books closed. Don't care. Now I know. I'm like,
well,
whatever.
Yeah, but that's
still stupid, but
right. But like you noticed it. It worked.
If anything, it makes me feel sorrier for those people because I'm like, you had to go out of your way to like name this thing and give it this
that's fair
whole thing when like whatever. You want to take some shortcuts, do that.
That was the last topic though. We're going to bed. This has been the No One Cares. No. The No One Ew. It's a new name. I'm trying it on. I messed it up.
This is why you don't just jump into things. We weren't ready for this.
I always jump into things.
Literally no one asked you.
No one asked us. Good night.